Mike, you've known Judge Baxter for 40 years. What did you think when you saw the sentencing today?
I was not surprised at all.
Because?
Because I've known him for a long time, and I think he had given fair warning to these defendants as to what was likely to happen to them if they did not take the deal that had been offered to them by the district attorney.
You know, what's so incredible about this whole conspiracy is that the kids who needed help the most, the ones who were most vulnerable, didn't have other alternatives, educational alternatives. They were the ones who got hurt. I mean, as the judge said, this was not a victimless crime.
That is absolutely correct. In fact, this whole mess, and I think it's fair to call it a true mess, is about the children. And these are the most vulnerable children in the state of Georgia. And it truly is heartbreaking when you consider that these children were robbed of an education. I'm a grandfather, and I feel for them, and my heart just cries out for those children.
And I mean, the damage that was done, it's not simply the years that these kids were in school that they got hurt, but because they were allowed to, through the cracks like that, without an education, just kind of passed on, it reverberates throughout the rest of their lives.
There's no question about that. And it reverberates in the prison system, in unwed children, children of unwed mothers, and it goes on and on and on for God knows how long, and it is a tragedy beyond description.
But you have no doubt that there are some people who were pushed along, ended up being pushed through the school system without learning as they should have, who have now ended up in the prison system, in the jail system, and part of that is because of what happened to them early on. I mean, had they at least had a chance at an education, there would have been a greater chance they wouldn't have ended up incarcerated.
Mr. Anderson, there is no doubt in my mind. There are a lot of people in the prison system who didn't get the right kind of education and as a result resorted to crime at very early ages because they simply weren't able to read and write.
It also, I got to say, and I mean, you know, the judge really hammered this home. It seems like there are a bunch of administrators at the top of all of this who just have not accepted responsibility. In fact, you know, one of their attorneys I heard, you know, saying, well, my client didn't directly engage in any cheating. That's not the point. If you're overseeing this stuff and forcing others to cheat, you're just as culpable, if not more so.
Absolutely. It's just like a military commander. Military commanders don't necessarily always directly observe what their troops do, but they are nonetheless responsible, and the same sort of responsibility exists here.
Well, Mike, it's just, I mean, it's an extraordinary sentencing, an extraordinary series of crimes and conspiracy. Thank you so much for being with us.
My honor.